Have you ever been genuinely happy for someone, while quietly wondering why life doesn't seem to be moving forward for you? It's a strange feeling. You clap. You smile. You say, "Congratulations." But somewhere deep inside, you begin asking yourself one painful question. What am I doing wrong? For Ethan Parker, that question was about to change everything. It had been almost 2 months since classes began at Westbridge University. Campus no longer felt unfamiliar. Students had settled into routines. Assignments were piling up. Midterm exams were approaching. And Group 7 had somehow become one of the strongest project teams in the class. Working together had become easy. Too easy. Ethan, Emma, Sophia, and the others had developed their own rhythm. Meet. Discuss. Laugh. Finish. Repeat. Somewhere along the way, they had stopped feeling like classmates. They had started feeling like friends. One Tuesday morning, the entire campus buzzed with excitement. Colorful banners had appeared outside the student center. A stage was being assembled. Speakers were tested. Faculty members hurried around carrying folders. Jake looked around in confusion. Did I miss something? Sophia smiled. Today's the scholarship ceremony. Jake immediately nodded as if he already knew. Oh, I definitely knew that. Nobody believed him. The university awarded only 5 excellence scholarships each year. Thousands applied. Only 5 names would be called. Winning meant more than money. It meant recognition, opportunity, prestige. For many students, it changed their future. Later that afternoon, hundreds of students gathered around the outdoor stage. The atmosphere felt almost like graduation. Families filled the front rows. Professors stood nearby. Students whispered predictions. Emma looked surprisingly calm. Ethan noticed. "Aren't you nervous?" She smiled. "A little. I'd be terrified." I already was. For the last 3 weeks. The ceremony began. The dean welcomed everyone. Professors applauded. Awards for athletics, community service, and academic excellence followed. Then came the scholarship announcements. The audience became silent. The dean opened an envelope. Our first recipient. A pause. Emma Reynolds. The crowd erupted. Students cheered. Professors applauded. Sophia screamed louder than anyone. Jake nearly spilled his drink. Ethan smiled immediately. He stood and applauded. He was genuinely happy. Emma had worked harder than anyone he knew. Late nights. Early mornings. Perfect attendance. She deserved every second of this moment. Emma walked across the stage. Accepted the scholarship. Shook hands with the dean. For just a second. She looked toward the audience. Toward Ethan. She smiled. He smiled back. After the ceremony ended, students surrounded Emma. Congratulations echoed from every direction. Pictures. Hugs. High fives. Faculty members stopped to praise her. Even students who barely knew her came over. Ethan waited quietly. Eventually, the crowd became smaller. Finally, Emma reached him. "I did it." "You did." "I can't believe it." "I can." Emma laughed. "You're supposed to say something inspirational." "I was going to. But honestly, I'm just really proud of you." Emma smiled. "So you're not jealous?" The question surprised him. He laughed. "Why would I be?" Emma looked at him carefully. "I don't know. You earned it." She hugged him. Only for a second. But long enough to make Ethan completely forget the noisy crowd around them. Then she hurried away to take another photo with her parents. Jake walked over carrying 2 sodas. "You okay?" "I'm fine." Jake didn't answer immediately. Instead, he looked toward the stage where workers had already begun removing decorations. Then he quietly asked, "When was the last time you were excited about something you accomplished?" Ethan didn't answer. Because he couldn't. Jake noticed. And for once, he didn't make a joke. That evening, Ethan returned to his dorm room earlier than usual. The room felt unusually quiet. His desk was covered with textbooks, project notes, half-finished assignments, business ideas. Everything looked unfinished. He opened his laptop. Social media was already full of scholarship photos. Emma smiling on stage. Emma holding her certificate. Emma with professors. Emma with friends. Hundreds of congratulations. He smiled, then closed the laptop. For the first time since arriving at Westbridge, Ethan wasn't thinking about Emma. He was thinking about himself. What had he accomplished? Nothing. At least, that's how it felt. He wasn't failing. His grades were good. His professors liked him. He had friends. But somehow, he still felt stuck. As if everyone else had started running, while he had forgotten to leave the starting line. That night, instead of sleeping, Ethan left the dorm. The campus was almost empty. Streetlights reflected off the quiet pathways. He wandered without a destination. Past the library. Past the student center. Past the coffee shop where Emma had spilled coffee on his hoodie. Everything was silent. Eventually, he found himself standing outside the Business Innovation Center. Most of the building was dark, except for one room on the second floor. A single light was still on. Curious, Ethan looked through the large glass windows. Inside, he saw a small group of students gathered around whiteboards covered with sketches, diagrams, and business ideas. Some were coding. Others were building prototypes. One student was practicing a presentation. Everyone looked completely focused. A sign beside the entrance caught Ethan's attention. Entrepreneurship Incubator. Applications close tomorrow. Ethan frowned. He had never heard of it. How had he missed something this important? He looked back through the window. One student proudly demonstrated a product prototype. The others applauded. Their excitement wasn't about grades or scholarships. They were building something real. Something that could exist outside the classroom. For the first time that entire day, Ethan felt something besides disappointment. Curiosity. Hope. Purpose. He slowly walked toward the entrance. His hand reached for the door handle. Then he stopped. Would someone like him even belong in a place like this?
Thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, share, and comment, and join us next time to find out what happens next.